Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast, the place for smart, simple strategies that will amplify your business results. Sharing practical tips, insider knowledge, and actionable advice because marketing is something that every business owner can do. Now, let's get started. Introducing your host, Bianca McKenzie, mum, lover of snow sports, camping, horse riding, and in-demand launch strategist and Facebook advertising knowledge bank.
Hey, welcome back to the New School of Marketing podcast. I hope you're well and that you had a great weekend. We didn't really do much because the weather forecast wasn't great, but then it actually turned out quite nice. Always the case, right? We basically just did some home renovations that have been put on hold, and my daughter completed lots of puzzles. She's really getting into it and getting really good. And sometimes I look at her doing her puzzles and I want to get mine out. And I really just find that with the baby around, I don't really get to completely tune out and really getting that proper downtime. But I also know that it's temporary. So as I had a sleeping baby on my lap and was watching my daughter do her puzzles, I was browsing small business websites. Like, I kind of just like doing that. Sometimes it's because, actually this time it was because I was looking for something, because we're doing all the renovations and things like that. And today's topic wasn't actually a planned one, but it really needs to be addressed. And I'll try not to get too ranty, but it really does make me quite annoyed that so many businesses don't do this because it's such a missed opportunity. So as I was browsing through these websites and went to their about pages, and in case you didn't know this, your about page is one of the most frequently visited pages of your website. Go and check your stats to see if it's true for you. I'll wait. So if you don't have an about page, you're really missing out, for starters. Anyway, I was on probably 4 or 5 different websites and looked at their about pages. And out of all of the ones that I looked at, only one had images of themselves on their about page. The rest just spouted all the generic stuff, the about us that wasn't really about them or about me. It was just impersonal, and I'm suspecting that their us talk is one person hiding behind their website, trying to look bigger than they are. And I get it. It's easier to say we versus I, but it really doesn't do you any favors. And if you're a one-person business, even if you've got, a chief furry officer, like your pet right there, the best thing you can do is be open about it and wear that badge loud and proud. And a little bit more about pages. They're not really about you or about your team if you have a small team. Often they are more about your ideal client. One of my favorite copywriters, J. Chris Crow, teaches that your about page needs to have a purpose. They also need to resonate with your reader. Have you heard me talk about your ideal client and how you need to know them really well? Yep, that one again. And it also needs to move people through your site. Your about page isn't all about you. A good about page helps a potential client feel connected with you and your story so that they know that they're in the right place. It's a lot about them, but wrapped up in your story. Anyway, back to the thing that drives me nuts. Most people will visit your about page, and your stats tell you that this is true. And the reason for this is that we are nosy humans. We want to know who's behind the website we're visiting. We just want to know. So here I was on a Sunday afternoon checking out these small business websites. And when I get to the about pages, I firstly was disappointed and then I got mad. So that's why we're here, because you need to know this. You ready? Because here it is. You must include an image of your face on your about page. You must do this. And I know it might feel uncomfortable. I really understand. Having a photo, your photo on your website is probably the last thing you want. But trust me, your customers want to know who they're dealing with, especially when they're making a high risk or a high value purchase. If you're a service provider like a web developer, web designer, copywriter, accountant, virtual assistant, etc., you really must have an image of you on your website. And this is even more important now because most of us do business online and we can't meet someone face to face to look them in the eye. It is much harder to get a feel for someone, what they're like, whether you can trust them. So a photo is a minimum requirement. A video will be even better so people can really get to know you and get a feel for who you are and if they resonate with you. But a photo is a minimum requirement. And having a photo or a video is important because it helps establish trust. So as a solo business owner, or even one with a small team, your brand and your personality are linked. So I titled this episode, The Most Important Part of Your About Page, and it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek because you wouldn't really put an image of you on your About page and be done with it, but it is super important. While we're on the topic of About pages, let's also talk about what other elements to include so that your About page is working for you. Because you might think that it's just a page to tell your story and treat it as not being important. But remember that I said that one of my favorite copywriters says that your About page must have a purpose. Think about what you want your About page to do. Do you want to encourage people to book a call with you? Do you want to send them elsewhere on your website? Do you want them to go and follow you on socials? What do you want people to do next? So another very important element of your About page is to include a call to action. Tell people what you want them to do next. And remember that your About page is not completely about you. It's about your potential client, but with very relevant storytelling so that it resonates with them. They need to resonate with you. It's also about building trust. So your About page should also include some aspects that give you credibility. And this could be social proof, testimonials, awards, media opportunities, guest blogs, podcasts, storytelling, all of those types of things. And the main focus should be to build trust and also to humanize your brand and get your customers to connect with the person and the story behind the business. So your homework for today is to go look at your About page and make some changes. Firstly, add an image of you. Honestly, do it. Do it. Your next step is to make sure that you are leading your readers somewhere and give them the task to take the next step. Whether that's to book a call, read another page, or connect with you on social media, tell them what to do. And also look at whether you have some social proof on your About page. It's a great page to tell your story in a way that resonates with your readers and confirm that you're the one for them. That's it for this week. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the New School of Marketing podcast. I hope it was helpful and I can't wait to share more marketing tips with you next week. If you're ready to take your business to the next level with Facebook and Instagram advertising, make sure you visit newschoolofmarketing.com to download practical free resources, plus subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Until next time, take care, market your business every day.